to Monastic online classes. Me, Dr. Ras Bihari Mahato. I am going to discuss about the ecosystem. This chapter belongs to Botany, class 11. So first of all, the ecosystem. The term ecosystem was coined by A.G. Tansley, 1935, and according to him, the system resulting from the integration of all the living and non-living factors of the environment means the living and non-living, that is also known as abiotic and biotic factors, interact with each other and give a system. So this system we depend upon this system for the food feeding. So all the living and non-living organism depends upon each other for their survival and well-maintained. So the system, which is formed by the integration of the living and non-living factors of the environment, is called ecosystem, and the biotic and abiotic components or factors are linked together through the nutrient cycles, means food cycle or food movement and energy flows. So, and thus we depend upon each other for food and after survival. Now, types of ecosystem. So, systems are classified into two basic types. First is terrestrial, based on land, means which operates on the land or habitat are the land. And another is aquatic ecosystem, which is based on the water based. So this in this way, the ecosystem is classified into two types: terrestrial, which occurs on the land, and aquatic, which occurs in water. Now, a terrestrial ecosystem includes, so under the terrestrial ecosystems, these are some ecosystems which occurs in terrestrial habitat, and these are forest ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, desert ecosystem, and tundra ecosystem. So these are the ecosystem which operates or which occurs on the land. Now, aquatic ecosystem. Aquatic ecosystems is classified into two types. That is freshwater ecosystem. Freshwater means without salt, which contains low percentage of salt. And this freshwater ecosystem is again classified into two types. Lentic ecosystem means standing water, like pond, lake, and other standing water bodies, and lotic ecosystem. So lotic means flowing water, running water, like river, spring. And another is marine ecosystem, which contains high percentage of salt. So this is known as marine ecosystem or sea ecosystem. Now we have to study about the two examples of ecosystem. One is belong to the pond ecosystem or aquatic ecosystem. So the pond ecosystem is an example of freshwater ecosystem, and another example we have to study about the grassland ecosystem that belongs to terrestrial ecosystem. So first of all, I am going to explain you about the pond ecosystem. So as you know, pond ecosystem is a freshwater ecosystem in which communities of organisms, different types of plants and animals rely on each other, live together with beneficial as well as harmful activities. As we already studied about that interaction among the living organisms, but they live in water environment and depends upon each other for food, feeding and energy flow for their nutrients and survival also. So a pond, what is pond? Pond is an area filled with water either natural or artificial. They may be natural or pond are found in our surroundings, or artificial, man-made, and that is a smaller than a lake. So pond is a smaller than a lake, and it may arise naturally in flood plains, means that is arises by the flood in especially in rainy season, and but water stay for whole year. A part of river system also flood plain, and it may contain shallow water, means the depth of water is not very high, like marine or sea. So with the aquatic plants and animals, and it contains some plants as well as animals which are known as aquatic plants because they have adaptation to grow, live in water. So these are known as aquatic plants. Now, components of the ecosystem, pond ecosystem. So as you know, there are two basic types of components or factors which regulates the ecosystem. So there are two main components. Abiotic components means non-living components, and biotic components means living components. Now, abiotic components includes climatic factors like light, temperature, water. Second one is the edaphic factors, means soil, which is essential for the plant growth, and our habitat. And inorganic components are gases, some oxygen, CO2, N2, and nitrates, phosphates, carbonates. These all are minerals. Organic components which are formed by plants, synthesized by plants during photosynthesis, and these are carbohydrate, proteins, amino acids, fats, and nucleic acids. And main source of the energy is the sunlight. So sunlight is the main source of energy for pond ecosystem. Now, biotic components. So these are the living components which found in pond. First is the producers. These are the green plants and algae, aquatic plants and aquatic green plants and algae, which are found in pond and produce food by photosynthesis. They may be divided into two groups. Macrophytes means smaller plants, which cannot be seen by our eye, and these are also known as phytoplanktons. So we need microscope for their study or to watch them. So they are microscopic autotrophs, which fix solar energy, and these are some Spirogyra, Zygnema, Volvox, Photoganium. So these microscopic plants are found in ponds and produce food by photosynthesis. Another type is macrophytes. These are the larger plants which can be seen by our eye, naked eye, which manufacture complex food by photosynthesis, and they are further classified into following types like submerged plants, the plants which remains embedded in water or submerged in water, and these are Hydrilla, Utricularia. So these are about the producers which found in plants. Now, consumers. The consumers are heterotrophic animals. So these are the animals which feeds upon the plants or another animal. So they are of following types. Now, consumer is again classified into three types, as you know. First is the primary consumers, which directly feed upon the plants, and these are known as herbivorous animals, feed upon autotrophic organism, like microscopic plants, eaters. These are also known as zooplanktons. So smaller animals like plant also, like plant. Animal are also, some animals are microscopic, and these are known as zooplanktons, mollusks, beetles, cyclops, and Daphnia. These are the examples of animals which are microscopic and found in pond ecosystem. And another is secondary consumers. So these are carnivorous animals which feed upon herbivorous animals, plant eaters for food. And the example of carnivorous animals or secondary consumers are insects, fishes, frog, and crabs. So these are the secondary consumers which feed upon primary consumers or herbivorous animals. Now, third one is the tertiary consumers. They are second grade of carnivores. First grade is the secondary consumers, and these are the second grade of carnivores. So they feed upon plants or animals. So they are omnivorous also, because they can feed like animal. We feed on veg and non-veg also. So like similarly, several animals are found in a pond which can feed on plants as well as animals. So they are known as omnivorous. And these are some example. For example, large fishes and frogs. So frogs are whether the frogs completely depends upon the animals. They feed upon insects. And another category is straw consumers. So they never feeds upon the herbivorous or plants, and they constitute the third grade of carnivorous, as they completely depend upon the animal. They feed upon secondary as well as tertiary consumers. So, and these are water snake, water birds, etc. So these are known as straw consumers, as they completely feed upon primary and secondary consumers. Now, last one is the decomposers. So these are the microscopic microorganisms, bacteria and fungi. They break down the organic complex or dead body of the plants and animals after their death. So they decompose the complex organic compounds, or they break down the complex dead body of producer and consumer into simple inorganic forms. And thus, these inorganic substances are again mixed in soil and repeat the cycle. So thus they play an important role in nutrient cycle and make available to the producers. So again the cycle repeat in pond ecosystem. So this is all about the pond ecosystem. Now we are going to discuss on another types of ecosystem, that is the grassland ecosystem. So this is the image for the pond ecosystem. These are the grasses which are found, rooted grass. These are found near the pond shore or bank of the pond, and so similarly several levels are seen in ponds according to their height, light penetration, and available of food nutrients. So pond ecosystem is classified into several zones: littoral zone, limnatic zone, and profundal zone. Pond is divided into three zones: littoral zone, which receive large amount of light; another limnatic zone, which receive comparatively less amount of light; and last one is the profundal zone, which receive very small amount of light. So this is about the pond ecosystem. Now, the second ecosystem we have to study the grassland ecosystem, and this is the example for land ecosystem, terrestrial ecosystem, we can say. So grassland ecosystem is an area, as you know, as the name indicate, the area which is covered by grasses. So different types of grasses are found here, and other herbaceous plants, non-woody plants, smaller plants, and in some places some shrubs and trees are also found, but it is this grassland is mainly dominated by the grasses, as the name indicates. So the grassland ecosystem means the area, the place which are mainly dominated by different species of grasses. This grass ecosystem, according to our world's land area, it cover about 20 to 40%. A very large area of our world land is covered by the grassland. It varies from 20 to 40% of the total land area covered by or which occupies the land. Now the grassland ecosystem. Now we are going to define about the grassland. What is known as grassland? Open and fairly flat area, and they exist on every continent except Antarctica. So grassland is found in every continent except Antarctica, because Antarctica is very colder region, and it is covered by snow, so it does not favor the growth of any types of plants and animals especially. So therefore this area is in this area grassland is not found, which makes them vulnerable to pressure from human populations, and so it is found in other area where the human population give pressure on grassland, because the movement of human is very high in grassland due to collection of forests for animals, and they graze their domesticated animals in the grassland. So these are mainly disturbed by human populations. Now the key characteristics of the grassland. How we can identify a grassland from the other land? As you know, first is the vegetation structure that is dominated by grasses. So different types of grasses are found here. Semi-arid climate. Semi-arid means neither very hot nor very cold. So it lies in between these two climate conditions. Rainfall and soil insufficient to support significant tree growth. So here the rainfall is generally low, and soil is also insufficient to support the growth of the tree. Another features of the grassland is most common at mid latitudes. So these are found in latitudinal region near the interior continents. So mid latitudes is the area for the grassland, because here the rainfall is low, and the soil condition is also not favorable for the growth of the tree. They cannot support the tree growth. And annual precipitation is between 600 millimeter to 1500 millimeter. It is average, we can say, average rainfall. And grassland can exist in habitats that are frequently disturbed by grazing or fire. So these lands are frequently and regularly disturbed by grazing or fire, by grazing animals and fire also. And thus, due to this disturbance, there is no possibility of the development of trees. So these areas are mainly dominated by grasses. As such, disturbance prevents the increment of woody species. So due to this disturbance, woody species mean tree cannot grow there. Please. Another feature is the average mean annual temperature ranges from 5 to 20 degrees centigrade. However, some grasslands occurs in very low temperature also, at minus 20 degrees centigrade, and water region also 30 degrees centigrade. These are the exceptional cases, but generally grow in medium temperature, and grassland are often exploited for agricultural use. So, due to increasing population, the grassland are mainly exploited for agriculture because we need food, which is fulfilled by cultivating grassland for crops and vegetables and other fruits. So grasslands are mainly exploited for agricultural use. Now, grassland, food web and food image. So here are some grassland, mainly grasses, and some animals and smaller animals and larger animals which are generally found in grassland and which feed upon them, and they make a food web. Now the pond ecosystem, grassland ecosystem also contains two types of components: abiotic components and biotic components. Abiotic components is the same. These are the climatic factors like light, temperature, water, as we already studied in pond ecosystem. Next one is the edaphic factor or soil factor. Third is the inorganic components like some gases, nitrates, phosphorus, carbonates. Organic components are carbohydrate, proteins, amino acids, fats, and nucleic acids, which all are synthesized by producers, green plants, and sunlight is the main source of energy, like pond ecosystem. Here also, the abiotic factors are the same. Now, biotic components. So, biotic, these are the living components of the ecosystem. They are a following type. Producers mean the green plants which are found in grassland, and we have already studied about this. These are the several species of grasses, shrubs. Sometimes trees are also found there. Mosses, lichens, and cyanobacteria are some of the many producers found in grassland ecosystem. And so here some scientific name of the grasses are mentioned here. Aristidia, Cynodon means dubo, Digitaria, Desmodium, Sataria. These are the common types of grass which are found here also. Produce food by photosynthesis and make producers of the grassland ecosystem. Now, another is the consumers. Consumers are the animals which found in grassland also, and they are categorized in three categories. Consumers. Primary consumers are those which feed directly upon the grasses, and they are known as herbivorous, like cows, buffaloes, goats, rabbits, boars, etc. And smaller animals are insects, termites, centipede, millipedes. They are found in grassland and feeds upon grasses directly. And next one is the secondary consumers. These consumers are the carnivorous animals such as snakes, lizard, jackal, foxes, frogs, which feed on the primary consumers mentioned above. So these are the animals which feed upon primary consumers. And third one is the tertiary consumers, which are found in grassland. These are the hawk, eagles, birds are these are hawk and eagles. Vultures are also constitute the tertiary consumers in the grassland ecosystem, which preys upon the secondary and primary consumers. They feed upon both primary as well as secondary consumers only. Now, last one is the decomposers. So these are the microscopic organisms like fungi and bacteria. Here some examples are also mentioned, like Mucor, Aspergillus, Rhizopus, Penicillium. These are found in grassland, and they are known as decomposers, as they feed upon the dead and decaying organic matter of both plants and animals, and they break the complex organic body, dead body of the plants and animals into simple inorganic form, and thus they play an important role in the continuity of the ecosystem, because the minerals are taken by plants from the environment, and these decomposers have play an important role because it again return to the environment to continue the ecosystem. So in this way, ecosystem continuously occurs in grassland. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.